Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Dan. I'm the Happy Fish Guy, and I'm gonna do a little live stream here to try to help the Big E's out. Let me try to figure out how to get the rest of my screen set up. All right, I guess I'm good to go. All right. Well, if you're just joining me, I like to raise guppies and angelfish, and I got some firetail guppies. Hold on, I'm trying to screw some stuff around. All right, I think I'm good. All right, we already got the biggies in the house, and I see Chris is here. Hey, Chris. Hey, biggies. Nice to see you guys. Um, all right, let me get the rest of this set up correctly because I got the Hangouts. I'm gonna have to grab a link. All right. All right, I think we got it going on now. So, good morning, or as Biggies likes to say, God morning to everybody. I kind of like that. Um, I think it's good to, yeah, I recognize there might be something a little bigger than myself out there in the world. And I know it's not me that created the fish around me, but I definitely enjoy their beauty. So nice to see Chris here. Need you to call me. Let me read the comments real quick. I was streaming first, cheater. Give that link, bro. All right, thanks, Chris. Are you still streaming now? Oh, I don't know. Um, Need you to call me, so work on this. Well, Biggie's jump on the Hangouts link, and then we'll go from there. Anyway, if you're just joining me, I did this live stream just so Biggie's could come online and we could figure out why he's not live streaming as awesome as he
I'm
should be.
here.
Hey, Biggie's, what's going on this morning? And I see Christoph has joined the conversation. Is that a bunch of fry? That's crazy. Jeez. I thought I had it going on with angelfish, but that is one incredible photo. Way to go, Chris, on the fish breeding. That is awesome.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. It's the egg spawn.
Man, talk about going crazy with the fish.
But I think I will use them as feeder because I don't have room anymore. I have 300 growing up, and I get rid of only 50 of them. I still have I sold only 50
Wow.
almost. But hey, I mean, 50 gone, but I give always free extra at the shop. So, and I still have four no paid. The first sale was ridiculous cheap because yeah, it's a geophagus, you know, it's a cichlid, and yeah, most of the people they don't buy this fish. They're going more for guppies, platies, you know, the classic, and it's a crazy digger. They escape the tank, you know, the spot where they spawn, it's bare glass. They took all the substrate and put it in front of the tank. They're constantly, yeah, they're eating. I mean, puking the substrate. They need to have something in their mouth. Actually,
Wow.
GBR do a little bit also. It's why it's microgeophagus, because geophagus means earth eater, and yeah, it's perfect for them. And you see now the colors of the pair is more soft, more light. When they don't spout, they show more colors. It's the opposite of the usual cichlids. Normally, a cichlid will shine with its fry. Those are more discreet. It's kind of camouflage when they spawn. And like you see, yeah, the fry is so minuscule, so little that it's like a gibber fry.
That's
You
just
see
amazing.
When he opens his fins, look, he will attack my finger. You see, he's coming for my finger. Right?
Yeah, I'm laughing.
And if,
that fish is like, get the heck out of here.
yeah,
Get
even
away from my babies.
Sure, even the light of the cam he don't like. When it's moving, he cam. Yeah, he's a really good fry. But in the same time, yeah, the throat of fifth spawn, I suck off the fry and he get on his frustration on his female. So I said, oh, poor little thing. He was really badass with his female because he was so frustrated. From that point, I had 13 juveniles of 8 months, and that was like a miracle. In our time, the pair was consolidated, and he was no more pissed off. And for the discus, it's also good to have these 13 juveniles because they're more looking after the small geos than the discus. In a second move, like 1 month ago, or 3 weeks ago, sorry, I had 13 small geos also of 4 months. In the same tank because they eat the small particles, and there is no waste food anymore.
Yeah, that's what I like about having all the guppies is like I don't have to worry so much about overfeeding as much as underfeeding.
Yeah. You see how it changed. You see what I'm doing. My grow tank. You see, they are 4 months old. But in the beginning, they grow really slow, you know. I think it's characteristic of the geos. In this tank, I have like 120. And from those guys, I took 12 in the discus tank.
Do they get along? They get along with the discus okay?
Yeah, so far so good. They're starting to shine their final colors. And I love my female black pepper, I call her. It's the one with the more black fins. I will do a show up in a few. And well, there she is. She's coming to me now. There. But the thing is also when it's feeding time, they're more stressed of the geo. Geo are a little bit badass, and there's sometimes, you know, they're scared that they will not take from my fingers. Oh yeah, maybe the biggest one of the small will come to it. Even Diego, my geo male. I love this one also because oh shit, they're more stressed than before of the geos, you know. Because when it's time feeding, sometimes those badass they nip the discus to scare them and to make room to get on the food. So they come together. But I have some I mean, the male of the discus, there are some dominant. The rules are going on in the discus squad. So there is a little bit competition between the discus themselves. Yeah, the small ones, I have to take care that the small ones eat enough. like my smallest ones were rejecting, and I didn't have time to make a special setup because I knew that there was something bad with the smallest one. It didn't hit at all, and I said, okay, I will put them in the 12-gallon. That he recovered a bit, but I didn't have the time because at the point I was ready to move him out the tank, the Geos spawn, and I put the pair in the 12-gallon. I have all my tanks here. You see, that's my 12-gallon. Next the television. Is the 12-gallon. I have my 40-gallon with my 8th-month juveniles. For my first spawn, and like you remember, I lost like 2/3 of the first one before using my secret weapon, the oxidator. So yeah, from the time I was using it, I didn't lose any. Oops. So yeah, the pair was first here, and my female once she jumped out on the first spawn of the tank. It was too small for her, and she was stressed off. She freaking jumped out, and luckily I was home, and I put her back. And I knew it. I saw discus plant and tankfish. He lost one of his discus. He came back from work and he found his male dry on the ground.
Wow, that's not good.
Yeah, but it's what the shop advise me. They recommend me to isolate the pair with the fry in this small setup, but this time it's finished from the 3rd spawn. The pair stay in tank, and yeah, it's a little bit constant aggression for the other fish, but I prefer like that, and I just let them enjoy a few days, and yeah, it's important that for the pair or Diego will be aggressive with his female. If I took them too soon, I'm sure he will take revenge and pass his frustration on his female. So I let them 3, 4, max 5 days, and I probably will use. I'm sorry, this fry as feeder because I don't have room anymore, and maybe I will get a deal not with the local fish store, but of the seller of the local fish store. The guy is selling at the shop self.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, at least do something with the fry. I mean, I hate the fact they might be feeder fry, but I think that's better than having them get overgrown in a tank.
For sure,
problems of ammonia burn and all that.
Yeah. When they small, the fry is like piranhas, especially the 8-month guys. It's a little bit. It's killing me, It's kidding, but when I give food to them, they try to take off my skin, And when I put sometimes I give them beef heart, even not only on discus, beef heart discus mix, because it contains garlic, vegetables, bloodworms. There is a little bit of everything. I don't like that much bloodworms, but in this mix it's okay. And the badass, the Geos, that's the temperament. I respect that. I like it also. But they try to rip off a piece and get away and eat them alone, But they took a big piece in their mouth and they swim away. And when I put my fingers in the tank, they try to only to take off a piece of my skin, or
Yeah.
They're twisting their body for using their own way to get this piece off, They're good at, and when you drop a bigger piece, they will all just all take a piece, like piranhas, you know. It's really like that.
Yeah. My angelfish do the same thing when I feed them. If I finger feed them, I can feel the little nips
Mm.
on my fingers.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Doing good. How's it going for you?
All right, no complaints, no complaints. That's a pretty impressive group of fry you got there, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
How's everybody this afternoon?
OG, all right.
Yeah, OG's Fish Room.
Nice to meet you, OG. You have cichlids also?
Yeah, I got a 72-gallon tank of mixed cichlids and all kind of stuff in there.
OG in the house.
African ones or American ones?
It's a mix of everything.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
All right.
The
Yeah,
only
Jeremy.
The only ones that try to bite me are my. I got 3 parrots, the King Kong parrots. They try to bite me when I put my hands in the tank.
Yeah, they can. I never had this fish. Well, I'm not crazy about it, but I respect the people will have them. Like Jeremy from aquarium, he's got also parrots,
Yeah.
and he bring back some severums that he mix with other African cichlids. Frontosas, small frontosas he buy.
Okay.
He mix them with severums. Well, I'm old school.
Where you
I respect it, but I will never do it because for the discus, no, for the JOS, I didn't have our unit, but now I have reverse osmosis, and yeah, I want to stay South American, and like my example of fish keeping is more Ted Judai. And yeah, this guy is too sponsored. He's becoming too commercial, I think. But he did an amazing collection of little videos on Colombia, and it's why I find it amazing. You know,
Right. Where you from?
that's really my favorite diet of Belgium, Brussels.
Are you from Belgium?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm from New York.
Yeah, next France. I speak French also and Flemish.
Okay. Biggie, where you from, Biggie? You still in there, Biggie?
Yeah, I think he has a. So you should watch
I'm from Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm here. You
Right.
can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
My mic ain't working?
No, I can hear you.
Wow, what's a delay?
Yeah.
Biggies, are you on the Hangouts or are you watching the YouTube?
He's on the Hangouts.
But I think he's watching the YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And did you get? Is it possible to reproduce the parrot's fish?
Let me go to the Hangouts.
Yeah, stay on the Hangouts, Biggies.
Oh, okay. Let me mute it.
Biggies.
Should
Yeah,
be better now.
But as far as
Is
the
it on right
parrots,
speed now?
yeah. As far as the parrots, they have never reproduced or made any fry. I had the red jewel cichlids. I had 28 fry from the red jewel cichlids, and now I only got 1 left.
All right.
They ate each other.
Yeah, they're sometimes badass, and they enjoy to eat little fish. Actually, my geos are really peaceful. That being said, my male I called Diego. He had 2 Corridoras panda. Small, and I think they come too close the spawning place. But it was my guilty that I put them too quick in the tank. They were not big enough. But that been saying before they get reproducing, before they get breed. I was in the shop and one lady was giving a tank for free. So I asked her if I could have it. She said yes. I did a maintenance on the other tank over, and I came back home with a free tank, some Anubias, and a few guppy fry, and some guppies also, adult ones. And yeah, so I mixed it in. So the discus weren't there at that time, but the geos, when they had the adult size, they didn't care about the guppy fry. The guppy fry was swimming on the top of the tank, and they really didn't care about it. So it's a cool fish, but yeah, it's a hurt eater. Sorry, constantly puke the substrate, and yeah, they rescape the tank. So if you get too much plants in the tank, they will take it off by taking the substrates always. They spawn on the bare glass, you know, and it was like 10 centimeters, you know, substrate. Ah, Bob's there. Hello, Bob.
Yeah, Bubs. Can y'all hear me now?
Yep. We got the Canadians in the house now.
I had to go in there and go on Hangout and hook up the headphones so we can work. I forgot that I had to go in there and change the Hangout. No more feedback. Ain't you happy, Dan?
Yeah, you sound amazingly crystal clear now, which is awesome.
I got a new camera.
And you look pretty like normal. I can see your fish in the background looking great.
I hate that word pretty. I got a baby face. Two words I can't stand is pretty and cute.
You're young at heart.
That's true, bro.
That's better than looking like an old man.
Then 51 years old and haven't grew up yet? Come on.
Dang.
I look older than Easy Man.
51 years old and still don't look my age.
I'm speaking only about the face, of course.
Don't worry, Biggies. Your fish are still cuter.
Remember, I walk with big. I got Moses over here.
So, Biggies, what happened to your live stream earlier?
You know what? Remember, I got the new camera and a new head. I can't figure it out.
You should just be able to plug the camera in. Your camera's working.
Well, I went and got the laptop, hook up the laptop. See, can we figure this out? That's the only way I can do it. I don't know what's going on.
Let me see if I can show you. I'm going to try to do a screen share real quick. Hold on. Let's see. I got to do a hangout.
That's to play the Christmas, man.
It's still showing the old one.
All right, let me try to figure this out real quick. See, even I'm getting confused now. All right, all right, so hopefully I'm doing this right. If I go to you guys see my Google screen?
The Google screen. Oh, I need to go back over to the other screen. I mean,
Oh wait, no, here I figured it out. I gotta do this. All right, so there's my Google screen. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go to wait.
I'll close up the computer. You dumbass.
Okay, so there's my YouTube screen,
Mm-hmm.
and then I go to see where the arrow is at the Creator Studio.
Yeah.
So I go to Creator Studio and I click,
Create a studio.
and then I go to
Direct event.
live streaming,
Live screen.
and I click there,
Okay.
and then I go to events.
Event.
See how it says stream now? I go to events and I click,
Yeah.
and then I click start.
It says schedule a new event.
So it says stream now or events.
It said here go mine's right here. It says you do not have any upcoming event. Schedule a new event.
Yeah, so you see where the new live event is?
Yes.
So if I click that, okay, now you see where it says go live now?
Yes.
So if I click that, it'll ask me about doing a Hangouts. And I'll say
Okay.
yes to that. And then once I start the Hangouts, at the very bottom of the Hangout screen, I have to hit a broadcast button. It's like a green button at the bottom of the Hangout screen.
Mm-hmm.
And you hit that button, and then YouTube starts loading first it loads up the Hangouts, but then it starts broadcasting that Hangouts to YouTube, and it takes YouTube about 30 seconds to turn that Hangouts into a live stream.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so if you were on your computer right now and you went to YouTube Creator Studio, then you go to events, then you go to go live now,
Mm-hmm.
the Hangout screen will pop up, and then you hit broadcast on the Hangout screen at the very bottom of the Hangout screen.
Okay.
And as I said, 30 seconds later, you'll have a live stream, but you have to wait about 35, 45 seconds for that Hangouts to start
Mhm.
being broadcast live.
Okay. So what's the problem with going to the Hangout? Why is you gotta have people's emails to go to Hangout now? I have people onto your Hangout if you don't have their email.
I just put a link up and everybody hit the link and came to my Hangouts, and then my Hangouts is automatically broadcast as a YouTube live stream. But there's a 30-second delay between the Hangouts and the YouTube live stream. So my live stream,
See, you got quit and using Google Hangout on air. All right, I'm seeing it now. How you got yours set up? I'm gonna try it later on. Oh, I sent cops some guppies this week.
yeah, I saw that. I was like, man, and he is like super happy and excited.
And they didn't die in the cold.
Did you put a heat pack in there?
Yeah, I put a heat pack in there. I shipped them because the UPS man came. The postal service truck come to my building once a month from downtown Cleveland, and I gave it to him to ship because he turned it in at 4:30, 1 o'clock. They was knocking on his door. The next day, talking about here's your live fishes.
Wow.
I was shocked. It didn't take 2 days, like it's supposed to.
Well, awesome of you to share your fish with them.
You know how guppies breed. I don't know. I got the touch. I breed guppies like crazy.
Yeah, I got more guppies than I know what to do with.
Then I bought some trumpet. I bought some not trumpet, snails. I bought some panda guppies from Jeremy last week.
You know, this just makes me tempted to go to Aquarium Co-op because I heard he took all of his beautiful guppies down to his store.
And where you gonna put them at?
Man, you know,
You gonna start a new tank up?
I'd have to get rid of some of these guppies so I could get some of Corey from Aquarium Co-ops. He's got these dragon tail guppies.
I know. I'm in love with them.
Amazing guppies. I just want the breeding stock, basically. I've been breeding
guppies, don't you?
The what?
Don't you got some panda guppies in there?
Yeah, they're a mixed panda guppy though.
Oh, they're not pure panda guppies. You don't mix them all up.
Yep.
They mutts now.
Yep.
Oh no, I ain't gonna mix no guppies up.
I've been working on this. Let me try to zoom in on this. He took off. I call it a ragged fire tail because the tail looks like it's ripped.
It showed. It just went up that away.
Yeah. But
nice way over there.
It's like a genetic deformity in the tail, but it makes it look like a campfire. So I'm trying to breed him. But yeah, I got some.
My blue one, the cop. I don't know why I did that for. I wasn't thinking. I had a blue. I had one had a blue in it. Sky blue was in it. And I sent it over the cop. I don't know why I did that for.
But yeah, I'm getting a lot of guppies. They have that paddle tail, which I like because it makes them a really strong swimmer. And but I like that the yellow and the orange just flying around the tank. With the it's got to be a genetic deformity in the tail to have it ragged edge like that. But I like it. People, somebody said that it looked like I had fin rot on the fish, and I'm like, no, it's a clearly defined ragged edge on that tail. So plus, I told somebody I'd have a fish with other fish with fin rot if that was the case, but got some amazing guppies, real beautiful.
They should have. Oh no, that one just went by. Got Pittsburgh colors, black and yellow.
Yeah, that's I like the black in the tail because I think it highlights the orange. If you just have the orange there, you don't. Yeah, it just to me that one that just went across the screen. Where's he at? That guy's one of my favorites.
I love that one there. He gone now. That one there.
Yeah.
That red, orange.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been getting incredibly lucky. This is that guy right there is pretty crazy.
Oh, he's boy.
And he's messing with that female that's got almost the same color. See how she's got almost a rainbow in her tail?
Mm-hmm.
It's got just a little touch of green. Well, it's like a black green. But yeah, there's and then I got that yellow one back there with that ragged fin. But yeah, my Java Fern, look at how that thing took over. It's that's on my power filter back there,
It's Ternobla power filter.
and it's just taking it over. It's got a constant flow, and yeah, that plant is so happy. I think that's like a super filter plant right there. I don't know if you guys remember, but I cut a whole bunch of um
Guppy grass.
guppy grass out of this tank. I cut it way
Gone
down,
back.
and in about a month, it's like taking over half the tank again.
Yeah,
But-
this orange. Yeah, this guppy is fantastic.
I
The
said
one with the orange.
hawthorn
just
grass
disappeared.
up there to him.
There we go. The corner now.
I sent him a whole bag of hawthorn grass.
That's your juveniles, then.
Yeah.
That's his juveniles.
Congrats. They're really nice.
Thank you.
Let me ask you one question, Dan. Did you sometimes add to curl your fry in the growth?
A few of the angelfish, yeah. I feel bad, but luckily I have an Oscar fish, and he eats. Well,
you
he
take
doesn't-
care of the pro.
yeah, at this size.
Yeah.
But yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, these veil tails, they don't have the speed to swim away from them, so he has no problem like just woofing them down. I gotta clean this tank. I got some algae growing on the glass.
Hair allergy, ain't it?
I'm not sure what this algae is. Of course, I got the awesomeness, the easy green.
Easy.
I should be using more of
I
this.
love it.
Probably don't use enough of it. Been busy doing other crazy stuff in life. I got me I was at the Goodwill the other day and I got me this nice killer flashlight. It's called a combat light. I couldn't get it to work. Let's see if I can show it in a better light. But yeah, it's bright as can be. It's like blinding. Anyway,
Yeah.
I went into the store because I couldn't get this to work, and this uses a really odd battery called a 123 battery. So I went to a gun store because this is a flashlight for firearms. I guess cops
Right.
use these flashlights anyway. So I put it on the counter and I asked the guy about the flashlight, and I go, are these things any good? Is it worth buying the batteries for $10 for this thing? And the guy goes, no,
Looks like, yeah.
those aren't really that good a light, right? Because it's called the Combat Z2, and the guy pulled out the flashlight out of his pocket is the same flashlight, but it's called the Combat Z6. I guess it's 4 generations better than this one. And I go, well,
This this one is excellent. If I get that in my eyes, I'm blind for a few.
yeah. So I asked the guy, I go, but you like those flashlights? And he says, yeah, I wouldn't carry anything else. He said, it's the only flashlight I know of that I can use with my 45 and fire, 10 rounds off. And he said, the flashlight is right it's in the same hand, because he says, if I fire two-handed, he said, this flashlight's getting all the kickback from the 45. Won't go out, won't nothing. He says you can drop it all day long and it's fine. I'll tell you the flashlight I really like, though. I know we're not talking about fishing for a minute, but I had to get this thing for work the other day. It's a little Petzl light. And I'll just show you guys the coolest thing. It's got the red light, so I don't have to ruin my night vision. Let me see if I can. There it is. But yeah, it gets pretty dang bright, and then it's got a little glow feature, so at night I can, find it after using it. But yeah, super headlight. Anyway, enough about flashlights and being awesome. I mainly wanted to come on this stream just to say hi to everybody because I haven't been able to stream in a couple weeks. Been busy doing the life stuff. Been busy pitching chicken sandwiches at people and socks and passing out a few jackets. I feel bad because it's getting kind of cold up here in Washington. So
It's already cold here in Cleveland. That day it was 13 degrees.
I had a really good day about 2 weeks ago. I threw a couple pairs of socks at this guy. He was sitting on a milk crate on the side of the road. And so then, of course, he moved where he was sitting at. And so, but he's still in the area. So I got off a different exit than I normally take, to see something different and go by, get some food. Anyway, there's the guy, same guy sitting there on the milk crate. And I'm thinking, kind of looking at my phone and other stuff, and this guy starts waving at me, going crazy. He's got the biggest smile I've ever seen. And I look back at him and wave, and I'm like, what's going on with this guy? He must be really needy for money, And he's totally waving up a storm. And I'm waving back. And then he points at his feet, right? And he gives me the biggest smile and the 2 thumbs up. And he rubs his hands together. And he's shaking his head, and he gives me the 2 thumbs up again, and he points to his feet. And, I was like, oh, that's the guy I gave socks to a couple weeks ago. He's wearing a different jacket now. And he was all bundled up with a little hat that had a face mask, so you could just see his eyes and his nose, It's kind of a windy day a couple days ago. Plus, it was 2 a.m, Yeah, people, out in my area, you got people, they're needy. So it might be, 1 or 2 a.m, but they're out there sitting on a milk crate freezing, trying to make a buck. But yeah, I didn't have anything in my car, and then the light ended up changing. So I gave him a wave, and he gave me this big old wave, and then he gave me that little where you put your hand to your face and like you're blowing kisses to somebody. I was like, man, that's a happy homeless guy. Super happy about the socks I gave him, but I gave him some top of the line wool hiking socks.
Oh, they was thick.
Yeah, thick. The ones I think you get them at Costco. Like, they think they're $25 for 3 pairs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I get them from Goodwill for $0.25, so I'm not out.
Mm-hmm.
Make a guy happy like that, it cost me 50 cents. And I think that guy is, the level of excitement that guy had, I think was worth like $25. You can't pay to have that kind of experience. But yeah, I drove away and I was just like, man, that's why I pass out socks and food. Because that's all I could think about. I got home, woke up the next morning, loaded some more socks in my car and a jacket. And I was like, I got to go find a homeless guy to make happy. People go, is that why you call yourself the happy fish guy? I go, well, I have happy fish, but I like to make people smile. And people smiling, they make me smile. So, yeah, I've been kind of on the busy side, trying to save the world 1 person at a time. Haven't gotten to have as much fun in the fish fam as I like, but,
Corey got his hoodies back for $29.99.
Anyway, I'm not going to stay on too long because I got other junk I got to get taken care of today. But yeah, I just thought it would be awesome to stream a quick little stream, get caught up with all the fun you guys have been having lately out there. And I got to say, Biggies, you were probably like 90% of the reason I streamed this morning, just to figure out how to help you live stream.
Figure this mess out.
Yeah, it's not always easy.
Now I unplug my camera, and now I got to cut the lost the camera.
We show you everything.
I'm always losing something. I don't know the
But if
camera.
you will listen to, it's also I have to then thank you again to learn me how to stream because I was lost and confused like Marcus. And yeah, you did what you did with him, with me,
Yeah,
and yeah, gratitude for that again, Dan.
Yeah, yeah. It's I wish YouTube had a little bit of a feature that was a little more helpful. And when I live stream, I still have to have like 3 screens open. I have to have the Hangout screen, then I have to have the YouTube screen where I'm live streaming, and then I have the live events tab. But yeah, I constantly take my Hangout screen and we'll move it down. I'll go to my the actual YouTube.com screen. I think that's what the other people are watching, and I'll take I'll mute that. But once in a while I'll unmute it, because the 30-second delay. That way I can hear that everything sounds awesome. I'll be right back in a second. I gotta grab some coffee.
let's see what's going on over here. Oh, Gina came in the house.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna try when I get off and see can I do this stream. I wish that light. I can't believe that pump went out on me. That pump sound like a diesel. I plugged that air pump on, Chris, and it sounded like a diesel. It's brand new.
All right, I'm
That's
back again.
ridiculous. This is a brand new air
Dan,
pump. That sound like a diesel.
So what was that?
Dan, put that link. Can you put the link for?
Yeah.
Oh, did I tell you I made a Pleco breathing tank up?
Nice.
Yeah, I stripped my 20-gallon tank and turned it into a Pleco tank. I took all that gravel out of there and turned it into a breathing tank. It's gonna take forever for it to show it. Oh, there we go. It's showing it. Move it down.
I have some fancy mails also. I'm proud of the backtail of my Guppy mail, but they're only a few, and the Geos finish the sick ones and the deformed ones. They upgrade my Guppy selection, in fact, but yeah.
I got.
Yeah, if I throw when I find guppies that aren't doing good, I throw them in my South American cichlid tank in the living room. And
Oscar, bad boy.
I got like 5. Well, I got like 30 convicts out there because they bred, but I got like 5 really big ones, and I got that Oscar fish, and yeah, they disappear in about 10 minutes.
Lunch.
Yeah, it's like, all right, well, you got a better life now in the stomach of a cichlid.
And that's if you on food. Until the dog get hungry and want to eat some.
If I use the fry as feeder, in 20 seconds it's finished.
Yeah.
I just put them in the water. It's directly, not a minute, in seconds.
Yeah. It amazes me.
Oh shoot! I got a fry. I got 2 tanks of fries. That's ridiculous.
You're gonna have to make friends with people that need fish biggies.
Me too.
I got those. I got a tank next to me. Got guppies in it.
See, I think what makes this tough is I sit on the Hangout screen, but I always have to go back to the YouTube screen to see what people are doing in chat.
And look at that tank there with the guppies in it. The fries.
Nothing. I just with Bob.
Is Bob going to join us, or is he being shy?
Ask him.
Is he still there?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe he's entering.
6 people is on here.
Oh yeah, hit that like button.
Man, that looks good.
That looks spooky to me.
I'm looking at the grass.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that hawthorn grass.
Your markers. You show some eggs, but sure. Hello.
Biggies, did you drop your mic?
No, I got headphones on. You can't say that no more.
Ask you one question, man. Easy. Did you start your? Sure. Oh.
You might have to ask him again, Chris.
For me, because I'm tired. He hear me. So yeah, the answer should be no. But he buys some eggs and he showed us.
Some eggs.
Yeah,
oh,
man.
Talking about the yeah, I did. I got the you talking about the bronze shrimp?
Exactly.
Yeah, I got it. I just gotta make it up.
Check it out on YouTube. There is so many tutors to.
I know. I got to make.
It's really
I
easy.
Get some bottles.
You can also, actually, if your room temperature is too cold, culture in the tank, and that will warm up your culture.
I like to just use. Yeah, I normally just use like a 32-ounce Gatorade jar. That way I know I can mix the salt to the 32 ounces.
Yeah, it's 60 33 gram the liter.
Yeah.
I don't know in American.
So I need to get a Gatorade bottle?
Yeah.
Get one Gatorade or 2 Gatorades?
Just, 2 Gatorade bottles.
All right, then.
That way you can have 2 cultures. That way you can hatch. Like when I do my brine shrimp, I take 1 Gatorade jar. I cut the bottom off. I make a little hanger out of copper wire so the Gatorade jar hangs upside down. And I basically float it in one of my tanks with a little bubbler. You have to put a bubbler in there.
But no hairstone. Just a pipe with big bubbles. Slow,
Yes.
slow, slow. That's the best. Not too much power of air, because that will be too much, too strong. It has to be soft, little bubbles, big bubbles.
Big bubbles.
Yeah,
just a pipe, PVC pipe, solid one. Wait, I'll show you.
like a straw. I'm gonna highlight.
So, wait, I don't know what I'm showing. I have to go on Hangout.
Yeah,
How
see, you're
long-
having to flip screens too.
Show my.
Yep,
You
little.
see just the pipe on. That will be in the end of the bottle.
Okay.
You just put your pipe on it, and that's it. And yeah, if your air pump is down the water, you have to buy a security, a stop that the water cannot return in the pump if it cuts. Only that. But yeah, Joey has also tuto. There are other, there is other, but you can saw Joey Moulin, King of DIA. He explained how to raise brine shrimp. And of course, like Dan said, you can stabilize. You have to stabilize the bottle in the corner, in the tank, in the corner of the tank.
Mhm.
And but if you I don't know at night, but if your room is warm enough, you don't have to put it especially in the tank. But
Out of here always.
it will normally it will go quick in the tank because you have no difference between night and day. And after two days, one day it depends the temperature, like 30 hours, the first brine shrimp should come. 1-2 days.
Yeah, so because I try to use my brine shrimp up within 24 hours, and they take 24 hours to hatch, I'll set my first bottle up,
Mm-hmm.
and then if I'm power feeding, 24 hours later, my first bottle has started to hatch, and I set my second bottle up the next day.
Okay.
And so out of one bottle I'm feeding for 24 hours while the second bottle is hatching. And then whatever doesn't hatch, because you only get about a 70% hatch rate
Mhm.
on most of your brine shrimp. So after 24 hours, I just throw away what hasn't hatched. And I restart the first brine shrimp container. And I start using the second container because those brine shrimp have had 24 hours to hatch. So basically between the first and second containers, I've always got a constant food supply for my baby angelfish
Mhm.
for the first 2 weeks. And then I try to switch them over to like flake food or let me see if I can't find this stuff. I use First Bites.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Ikari.
I got this crab cuisine the other day because it's got contains calcium for healthy shell development. Normally they use this crab cuisine for crab and shrimp and hermit crabs, but my snails love this stuff because it's rapidly sinking.
Okay.
But the calcium is the main thing I use for my snails to make sure they've got good shells. Then, of course, everybody wants to know why my guppies are so fancy, and that's because I feed them the fancy guppy.
That's a guppy food.
Semi-floating protein-rich granules. And then, of course, if you're doing the plecos, you probably want the algae thins.
My allergies won't eat that. Don't eat no allergy food.
Well, the plecos love it.
They don't want it.
You should try once Repashy, Spo, and Grown for your fry.
Oh, yeah, I've heard great things about that.
I think it's one of the best Repashy for fish, because for the geo, if I use the normal one, Community Plus, I enjoy red rum. Red rum is a boost for color, for boosting the colors. So you can also mix the varieties of Repashy, but the main, my favorite one and the useful is Spawn and Grow. And when you got to work for, I don't know, 6-8 hours, you're out of home, it's a really, really good solution. And the fry start to eat it from the swim. So it's a really, it's not so good than live food, live brine shrimp, but it's a good alternative. And I miss it. I'm running out. And last preparation I did, I lost it because I mixed some spirulina powder, and the result was disgusting. So I had to throw it because it was not solid. It decomposing. It didn't stick together. You know, it was like vomit. It was horrible. Yeah. But if I'd like to order from United States like 1 kilo or a big quantity, it will become really cheaper than in Europe, because here Repashy is not selling in Belgium, but I can order from Holland, but it's still expensive.
Yeah, I think, having quality food for your fish is really important to get their colors and their growth and their health to be maintained.
Mm-hmm. But it's also and I tried Tubifex. Oh man, never buy that. That's only good for my Corydoras. For my curry, Tubifex, and speaking about frozen, the dry one is really horrible. Never buy that. But my fish didn't want it. But what I try to say, that you have to educate your fish, and that's also the interest to buy them small, because you can educate them. It's like children. If you listen to the children, they will only eat fry, burgers, and chips, and ice cream. But you have to force your children to eat vegetables also. It's a little bit the same with most of the fish. They have to include a part of vegetables also, even if they don't like it.
Sorry about that. I had to answer a text message I got.
Okay.
Man, those are some nice looking discus.
Yeah. But before I was used to caress them a little, but they're a little bit scared of my caress. They become the bigger one become a little bit more aggressive with the other ones, and of course I think there are 2 males for sure, and they try to seduce my black pepper. So there is a little bit competition between them. But it's also good that the geos are there, even if they're sometimes stressing out of the geos. They don't focalize their attention to each other. They have to focalize on the geos also. My female is exaggerating, and Diego can be more aggressive, but he actually is more cool than she. She will let no one approach.
Man, that's a nice looking tank, Chris.
Yeah, it's always the same.
What size is that tank? I always meant to ask him about that tank.
And yeah, I will buy a new GBR mount for my female. Man, I thought she was dead. Two months ago, I said, where she is. And after 2 weeks, I was wondering if she was eating or something. I find her back in the filter compartment. She stayed there 2 weeks. Yeah, but that's okay.
There's ammonia spike in your tank.
And yeah, she misunderstood when I first put the 13 juvenile geos. She thought they were one male, and she was acting, like to seduce the geos, like a male GBR. But I will buy her one male. Don't worry. There she is. That GBR can be also badass, and the male that passed, he was horrible with the corridors, always aggressive with them, chasing them, and I had no other choice to remove all the corys and put them with the groupie tank. Oh. Can you show us your South American tank, Dan? Please.
Well, no, I know it's because it's in the living room and I'm stuck on this camera. I can.
All right.
I can do it when I'm on my.
Oh no, it's okay. Next time.
Yeah.
But I was curious about the convicts.
Yeah.
So Cyclasoma compriceps, of what's the scientific name?
I'm not sure. They're called convict cichlids.
They're Central American.
Yeah.
And what's this? It's like a Oscar fish, the size of.
Just about half the size of an Oscar.
So like my geomale around.
No, they're bigger than that.
Even my male.
Yeah.
There it is. All right.
Yeah, if you type in convict cichlid, it comes up. They're a really beautiful fish. If like they look like a black with white stripes, but mine have a lot of different color in them, like blues and greens and iridescence.
They breed too much.
Well, that's true too.
No.
I think it's a Cyclasoma, but I will check it out.
Man, them convicts, they breed too much for me, Jack.
They're about a 6 centimeter fish.
All right. But my male Diego is 15 centimeters big. And he's become huge, Australian. And he likes to eat the first, He took his big piece and he ran away like a thief.
I'm trying to find the scientific name is Nigrofasciita.
Okay. Yeah, all right, I get you. Yeah. It's with the zebra stripes. I know what it is. Yeah. Well, they're a little bit bigger than my male, but don't miss. I mean, he become big, I swear. Yeah, it's a Cyclasoma nigrofasciatum. White and black, of course, stripes. It's more round, but it's got a bit the color of the African. But it's a different head, frontosa, kind of same lines. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, they got
they can be aggressive. Eh?
very, very aggressive. What I like is mine have like orange in them and green stripes, like on the fins. Like the
Mhm.
female will get like a orange uh, on her belly, and then
When
she'll get
she's
green
ready to fight.
stripes
Yeah.
in her dorsal fin,
At fry time, yeah.
and she'll get really, really on the white side. The males they're on the darker side. It's almost like they don't have white in them. They just have dark and lighter.
When they became nuts, put a bunch of brine shrimp.
Definitely a fun fish to have. Wow, you just dropped a mad bunch of brine shrimp in your tank.
Yeah, but there is a lot of feed. I have to, that everybody is get his portion
Yeah,
because there are little ones. The curries, you see the curry will also eat.
yeah.
I have to feed everyone. There's like 15 curries. I lost one Otasanklus, one Otto, but I still have 12 15 Ottos. Yeah, everybody's got to eat. And like I said, you see the juveniles one, but there is a bunch of little ones. If you look carefully, you will see the small ones mixed with them, like in the guppy tank.
Yeah.
You see
That tank is full of fish. That's beautiful.
But I had no choice at once. Like I said, when I sucked the fifth spawn, the male was really aggressive with his female, and by adding 13 juveniles in the tank, that stopped immediately the aggressivity of the male against his female. And yeah, the discus are slow eater, so you have to give them the time that they eat because the jails will take it out of the mouth. So there is not much. Yeah, I have a little bit waste, of course, but
Snails got to eat too.
I don't have snails. Only the one. Yeah, they got eaten by the jails, and
Wow.
in the bear tank in the guppy tank, they even broke the shells by eating them constantly. They took them in their mouth, they puke it again, they took it again, and they don't stop. It's crushed shell sand. Yeah, I swear. The only snails alive are the one hiding behind the filter.
That's one aggressive tank.
So I will have to next month, in 2 months max, I have to take off the juveniles here, or I will not recognize my female anymore. They will have the same size, almost the same size as the female. So they're slow growers in the beginning, but when they reach 5 months, they don't stop growing. And here in the 100 gallon, they have room enough to swim and to get bigger. Come on, I'll take the camera. He don't like the light on the cam. It comes out for yeah. So are you going out tonight then?
Yeah, I'm probably going to head out tonight, have some fun, go to work.
All right.
You know he gotta go to work. He work every day.
Pretty much. I do. I do
Don't
something
forget
every
to
day.
eat. All right.
I actually got to head out about help a friend right now. He's got to move some stuff out of a storage unit.
All right.
But yeah, I don't know. I think, I look at my life and people are always like, "What do you do?" And I go, I'm always helping people somehow, somewhere, in some way. And it just brings a smile to my face watching other people, that have issues. Uh, Yesterday I went over to my friend's house because her drain wouldn't clean, or it wouldn't drain. And yeah, so we jumped on the video, and she showed me what was going on, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll bring a snake over. Show me what's going on under the sink." Boom. I was like, "That's simple. I'll bring some pliers." And yeah, I disconnected some pipes, ran a snake down the drain, hit the clog. I could feel it. Yeah, it's a done deal. I don't know if you guys ever unclogged sinks.
Yes.
This was a slow draining one, right? So,
Oh, hair down there. A grease.
yeah,
What was it? Hair or grease?
it's hair.
Tons of hair.
So the first thing I did is I got dish soap, and because it was a slow drain, she goes, "What's that for?" And I go, "That's so that my snake will flow in and out of the pipe easily. The soap suds and all that."
Sandy.
Threw some bleach down there. So I said, that way the pipes are pretty clean. Yeah, and ran my snake underneath the sink, which is kind of a bugger. But yeah, I got the clog out, threw the snake in her shower, bleached it, right? Because I like to keep my snake clean. Used her shower to wash my snake all nice and clean, and then fed it back into itself. And yeah. Then what was lame is my buddy goes, "Dan, what were you doing today?" And I go, "Oh, I went and snaked a lady's drain." And he goes, "Oh, you got a snake on you?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Could you come snake my kitchen sink?" I'm like, yeah, okay. 1 a.m.
Damn. That's abusing, man. You're not professional.
Well, I was
Wow.
already over at his house.
Okay.
Swung
But
by
1
his
o'clock.
house. Yeah, 1 o'clock in the morning, I swung by his house to say hi because I knew he was up playing games.
All right.
And it's tough because he's like, "Oh, so you got your snake on you?" I'm like, yeah. He's like, "Dude, want to snake the kitchen?" I'm like, "Not really." So
So you fix the problem.
yeah, I hit 2 drains in one day, and I'm not a plumber. I was like, "You guys," but they're like, "But you own a snake." I don't know. It keeps me smiling though.
All right.
I think being good to people is why, I don't know. We'll just call it Mother Nature. It has been good to me, because sometimes I get stressed out with the people I help or the things I see or the crap I got to deal with, because
Yeah, I respect it, and I love you for that, bro. It's, I'm proud of you. You have a really good heart. But let me say one thing. If you give a service to someone, this someone will appreciate it, will show gratitude. But if he's used to, if you often come to help me, at the end of the run, I will find it normal. So
Yeah.
what I'm worrying about it's that I would like that people were so nice that you are with other people. That's only my preoccupation. That I don't say you have to be selfish, but think at yours. We only live once. We have only one life, and yeah, don't get abused by be too generous, because what did you get back? A smile, it's okay, it's nice, but that's not much in another way, you know. So
Yeah, no, I definitely, I mean, I have to be in a weird way cautious about the people that I allow into my life, like my friends or the people that I help. You know, and I help people in really, you know, strange ways, you know, like trying to get people's lives back on track, you know, and I don't know how people end up coming across my path and are like, hey, Dan, my brother's having some trouble, or this guy's doing this. Can you, you know, I remember a gentleman, oh, it's got to be about a year and a half ago. He got in some drinking trouble. He had a standoff with the police department where they had to bring the SWAT armored vehicle in. It was like a 36-hour thing. He took some gunshots at the cops because he was really drunk and on some drugs, you know. And anyway, you know, his wife kicks him out, and somebody comes to me and is like, hey, Dan, can you talk to my neighbor? He's you know, like 60 years old, and he's having some issues. And I'm like, why not? And go talk to this guy, you know. And yeah, we started talking, and he says, hey, I haven't eaten. I don't have a license. Can you drive me to Denny's? I'll buy you something to eat, you know. And he didn't have transportation. So, you know, I kind of developed this friendship. We'd go out to, you know, like Safeway, and he'd be like, hey, can you take me grocery shopping? I'll buy you some groceries, you know. And I said, sure. And anyway, we talked about some of the issues he was having. Bottom line, I told this guy, I says, listen, you got to do your part in life to get ahead. And basically, you know, the gentleman that introduced me was like, Dan, this guy is on his way to the grave. Okay, that was probably like the 5th conversation we had. And he says, dude, he is.
yeah, that's selfish and stupid to say that, because like he washed his hand of it, and he don't want to be for the consequence of this guy.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, so I formed a friendship, and I told the guy, I says, listen, you're not willing to do some things that I suggest in your life. So I don't have time for you, you know, 4 days a week. I got a life. And if you're not willing to do the things that you need to take care of in life, I'm not willing to be your friend. And, you know, part of that is I told him, I says, I don't want to hang out with you if you've been drinking. You know, the last time you got drunk, the cops had to come to your house, 60 officers deep.
Damn.
Okay, that's what they finally took to get him out of his house. Made the front page of the newspaper.
Right? He was lucky that he was not shot, because if he fire against the cops, they can shoot him dead. So so simple it is.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the serious issues that this guy's in. He says, you want to see why I live in, you know, where I live? It's because I can't live in the other.
It was not the first time that the cop came to him, for sure.
No, but they
you know,
they basically they kicked him out of the county.
Yeah.
I told them, look, we recognize that you had some issues going on, and that, you know, you didn't, that like I guess what got found out is that his lawyer argued that if he didn't know it was the cops, he wouldn't have shot at him. He thought he was being home invaded. So
the cop, did they humiliate him, or they arrest him normally?
No, he passed out.
No.
And the cops broke into the house and sent a little robot in, and he was passed out.
So he ran away?
No, he passed out in his house.
He's dead. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
No, well, no, that's the end of the story. But basically, he, when the cops came, you know, to his house, 60 officers deep, he had a standoff with them and wouldn't come out of the house.
But did he shoot himself, or the cops shoot him? You don't know.
No, he got arrested.
All right.
And then
so
basically
passed, but passing is dying, no?
No, they sent the guy to trial, and
All right.
basically they gave him some options, and he said, "Listen, I know what I did was wrong, and I think it's best if I just move out of the county." And he ended up getting a year in jail, and then when he got out, he moved out of the county, and that's how he became my friend's next door neighbor. And then basically my friend introduced me and is like, Dan, this guy does all day long is drink and whine about how he can't live with his wife and how he should never have gotten in a shootout with the cops and he should never have gotten super drunk, but he won't stop drinking and he won't stop doing drugs. And so that was my deal. When I met him, I go, look, I'm not going to hang out with you if you've been drinking. And,
But
and
that's a trauma, you know. He's got a trauma before, and he can go over his trauma.
yeah,
That's the problem.
yeah,
It's like the one going for war and coming back with trauma. You can get out these nightmares, you know. If you see your buddy dying next to you, that's a trauma for life, you know. It's like even if I think to DPK, he saw his uncle shot
yeah.
when he was child. That's a trauma, you know. No one will heal him from that. The only
Well,
the only hope I think he can have is to live something better, something having more love and be more love to get over this trauma. But if he don't have something superior in feelings in where he can give him away and forget and lose himself in this love, he will always be hunting of this trauma.
yeah, no, and so I off and on, tried to help this guy for about 6 months, and then I'd had enough of it, and I just says, look, man, I can't be your friend anymore. I can't really be bothered by what you're doing in life. You're not going to counseling. You keep drinking. You keep doing drugs, and
yeah, because he can take you with you in his depression, huh?
yeah, and I said, dude, I got better stuff to do in life. And he's like, I thought we were friends. And I go, I thought we were friends too. And I thought you were friends with your wife. And I thought you were friends with your kids.
That's not friends, you know. Because if you have my friend, even if I took something or I drink something, I will know my limits.
Yeah.
If I respect you, I will put a limit to my use, you know.
That's
even
exactly.
I don't know, like if I smoking something, well, I would say that's enough, you know. I want to be myself. I have my capacity, even if I trust you, you know. But that's the vicious point of it, because if I trust you, you trust me. Yeah, some people they don't have limits because they find someone to trust, and that's what you are. He trusts you. That's my point of view.
I moved a guy into his house to help him not drink, and he drove that guy up a wall, and the guy moved out 5 days later. And I told him, I says, listen, your options in life are to go to treatment, and that's it. And he went to a 30-day treatment program, right? He did. He went and he successfully completed 30 days of treatment. And was drunk an hour and a half after getting out of the treatment center.
Damn, yeah, that sucks, man.
Yeah. And so, and I watched all this happen, and I, and about a month later, I go, look, you went to treatment for drinking. You're not going to your counselor. Like, you have to do 2 times a week. You're not doing anything for yourself. So I said, until you figure out what you need to do.
Yeah.
And he's like, I thought we had a relationship. And I go, you obviously have a relationship with some drugs and a relationship with some alcohol that's getting in the way of the relationship
and
you're supposed to have with your wife.
Does he have children, this guy?
Yeah, he had 3 kids.
Damn. How old are those children?
What was it? They're like 18, 23, and 25.
All right.
And yeah, his younger son didn't even want to talk to him.
Yeah.
Anyway, all this is going on. I'm telling the neighbor, hey, it's not working. I came over one day, I pulled into the neighbor's house, and he came out and he was yelling at me how we weren't friends anymore, and I shouldn't be in the area. And I go, dude, this is my friend. Like, go back in your house, because we're not friends anymore. And so, he's screaming obscenities at me and all this other stuff. And the cops, the cops show up, right? And they're asking me what's going on, and I tell them, I go, this is this guy's name. You go ahead and run it. And they're like, oh, the last time the cops were here, SWAT. Of course they saw what was written on the newspaper. They had a full record of all the shit that happened. And so, I looked at the cop, and he's like, yeah, he's drunk in public. He won't come out of his house. He's causing a ruckus. Well,
his wife?
The cops showed up and he ran in his house, right? And so because the neighbors called the cops or whatever. So the cops called up and they're like, what's
because he was shot and beating his wife, or what?
No. This is after his wife he'd moved out from his wife, like about a year after he'd moved out from his wife.
He lives alone.
Yeah, he's on his own. And the cops look at me and they're like, what's going on? And me and my friend are, we're pretty much laughing, and we're like, hey, glad you're here, man. I go, but we got it taken care of. And the cops are like, obviously not. And I told him the situation, clear as day. And he opened the window and was like, you have no right to be telling my business. And I go, the cops already know your business. They're like, come out, we want to talk to you, Anyway, about 5 minutes later, I look at the cops and I go, listen, I think it's easier if I just leave, and the cops like, no, you have every right to be here. And I look inside and I just go, look, you behave. The cops are going to leave. I'm going to leave, and everything is going to calm back down. Okay. I said, but if these guys come out again, I said, they're going to bomb your house with tear gas and pull you out.
And why the neighbors called the cops? Because he was shouting?
He was screaming. He was screaming at me to get the hell out of there.
All right.
Anyway, bottom line, so I talked to my friend, and I say, hey man, I'm not going to come around your house for a couple weeks, just till stuff calms down and cools out, right? And my neighbor says, I'm not going to talk to the guy either. I'm just going to keep my distance. Right. So, about 3 weeks goes by. Right. And he hasn't seen his neighbor, done anything. And, one of his kids comes over and is knocking on the door to wake him up. Right. Yeah. And, so my friend is like, hey, I know how to get through the bathroom window, okay, and opens the bathroom window and can smell a smell, right? And decides to go in there anyway, and goes in, and he goes, it's obvious he was dead. Obvious. And I go, what'd you do? And he says, the smell forced me out the back door. And he said, we called 911. And I'm like, no way. And he says, and they figured out his death was, a certain amount of time. And he said, Dan, he said, that's basically, like 11 days after the bullshit is when he died.
You find it 11 days after he passed away.
Yeah. After we got in that fight and the cops came, he's like 11 days later, Dan, he was dead.
Yeah.
You quit being his friend. Said, 4 days later, he gets in a fight with you, and he says 11 days later, he's dead.
When it happens, when you discover him?
What?
2 weeks ago?
No, this was like 2 years ago this happened.
All right.
I was trying to be this guy's friend, and but so, when you talk about trauma, it's like I look at some of the people I've tried to help for, like, this guy was like 6 months off and on, and I quit. Like my friend said it best. He said, Dan, he says, you quit helping this guy, 11 days later, he's dead.
That's an air pump.
The
He
first,
says,
Diesel.
the first time I was in shock, I was at school. I was a small boy, and I was getting home with the bus, the school bus, and the bus did an accident with a motorbiker, and the guy was lightly injured on his leg, bleeding, and I started crying, and some of the child say, "Why did you cry?" And I say, "Yeah, it's my brother." I never saw this guy in my life, of course. And
oh,
the second time I was shocked, but it was nothing. It was just a little bit blood coming out of his boots. And the second time, my dad said, "No, Chris, you can't see your grandma. She suffered too much. She was diabetic. She had insulin every day. And yeah, poor, she died of cancer. And the problem was that she was used to I don't know which bad drug she was taking insulin or something for his diabetes health. And yes, at the end couldn't stop the pain from her, so she died with pain. And I saw her, and that was really hard for me. That were the two times. The first time I was confronted with the dead, but I can't imagine what he. It's like, wow, you know, like the emergency squad. You know, they see that every day, children dead in cars. Man, what did you say? That's hard. When you saw that.
yeah. I used to kind of deal with the same stuff when I, as an EMT. You know, you come up on people that have done things that you can't fix, you know, or they're already dead,
Yeah,
or they die in the ambulance.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, big respect for all these people from the ambulance, from the fire cops, in the cops also watching that. That's terrible. Even in the hospital.
I just, you know, a lot of people, they look at my life and the things that I do and what I have in my life, and they go, Dan, you got 12 fish tanks. And I go, you know, I have to find, you know, large chunks of time to find a life that I enjoy, you know. And people laugh and they're like, but you're always dealing with the craziest stuff, Dan. You know, like a couple days ago, I go to work and, you know, I notice a car parked in an odd location at this business that I'm like the building manager. And we have a camera because we've had trouble with that area. Anyway, I park, go in the building. They don't know I'm there. I go up on the second floor, and I'm looking out through a stained glass window that's got a couple clear panes in it, right? So I can see what they're doing from a distance of like 50 feet. You know, it's 10 at night, so it's dark out. And, you know, we don't have, you know, the greatest lighting in this area. But anyway, bottom line, I see him passing back and forth between them a methamphetamine pipe, right? And I'm watching for, you know, a moment or two. And then I go up on my camera that we have there, and I can see, you know, on the cameras picking it up clear as day. And so my favorite thing to do is my favorite line is I tell the guys, you're on camera. If you leave now, I don't call the cops. If you don't come back, I won't show the video to anybody. Right. And I walk out, and the guy looks at me and he's all, what the blank do you want? You know? And I go, you know what? I go, I don't like what your guys doing. I've been watching from the window, and the camera right up there can see so I got it on video. Whoa, blah, 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 blah. And I go, stop. Just stop. And he's starting to get out of a car, you know, and I'm like, oh shit, you know. And so I pushed the door shut and I go, listen, I said, you leave now. I don't show that video to anybody. If you cause trouble, I call the cops in 5 seconds. And he goes, what are you going to do with the video? I said, you calm down. I says, nothing. If you never come back, there's no reason for me to do anything with that video. And I said, and if you leave within 10 seconds, there's no problem. You just never come back. You understand? And he looked at me and he said, yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Started his engine, backed his vehicle out, squeaked it out, flew across the curb, and was gone. And I walked inside and I was shaking, you know, because this was a pretty big guy. And I know he's on meth. So I know anything's possible. And I just sat down and I just go, you know, holy moly. Sometimes it's a little much to be a building manager. Because that could have gone wrong real quick. I thought maybe next time I'll have to use a different approach.
Yeah, because if it's a thief and he's got weapons, so he can fire on you also.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my great thing is the door that I snuck out was about 40 or 50 feet away. And I had a guy at that same building. I told him that he needed to take off. He came after me. I went and shut the door behind me. And then we have, it's like a gated courtyard. And so I was in the gated courtyard. And basically I came back out in the gated courtyard. And I was telling him, I was like, dude, you got to get out of here, man. I'm going to call the cops. And he couldn't do anything because I was behind the gate. And you can't climb, you know what I mean? The way that the gate's set up, you can't climb over it. But yeah, it's I don't know. I look at life today and I go, man, Dan, you have those moments that just to set your heart a racing. So I look at the level of excitement I have. I'm like, I don't need that level of excitement. But I definitely get to enjoy, you know, having fish in my life, and as we call them, fishy people. It's always nice to, you know, hear from you, Chris, about how to better keep fish. And it's always great to hear from the Big East because he's sharing his fish love with the cop. And
Fish love with the cop.
always making me smile and laugh.
Talking about me sharing.
That's kind of why I had to stream today, Biggies. I hope you figure it out, man.
Yeah, thank you.
That way I can come cause a big old ruckus in your stream.
I still can't get Cop to come on. I don't know where he done disappeared to.
Hiding out with the bunny rabbit, I bet.
Yeah, he hanging out with her.
Anyway, gentlemen, I should probably get rolling. I've been texting my buddy telling him I'm going to be late to helping him move, and he said that's fine because he hasn't had his coffee yet. So I got some overly pregnant guppies right there. About to drop fry in a tank that's like already filled with fry everywhere. Yeah, this tank worked out awesome having that hiding spot and then all the algae growth for the fry to feed on.
Mm-hmm.
Got my big foam sponge where it's growing some, I think some black hair algae, but it's, you know, this tank doesn't get overdone by algae because I got that bristlenose pleco who's hanging upside down right now in the cave. Yeah, I should swing around my room real quick.
Mm.
So there's the angelfish looking all good.
Yeah.
I should go feed him real quick.
I hope
See
you
if I
can
make
sell
them go
them.
nuts. I don't know if I can reach that far.
It's time to sell them, and then
Definitely. I
You
just
not
haven't had
sell
time to do anything.
the internet or something. And Corey, he cannot buy some of you. Corey from Aquarium Co-op. when you go to his shop and doing an exchange trade.
Isn't that noisy?
No, it's okay.
I think it's amazing when they eat.
Yeah,
I got her going on. That's a pearl scale.
yeah, it's beautiful.
Pearl scale. That's a red shoulder pearl scale. I wish the
Yeah.
red shoulder was a little more red, but those pearls are crazy awesome. And then
But my favorite one is this one is also nice with the yellow head.
yeah,
This one is my favorite.
that fish is amazing. But I hopefully I'll get that right there, that pearl scale, because that shine is just incredible.
Yeah, you should keep a few to make a new pair of them.
These two are mated right now. This one and this one. So that's going to be an interesting mix. She's got some really nice finish. She got the pin fins going on. Got the pin fins in the back. That's how I know she's got just incredible health. Her stringers are great. These ones, they got some great stringers. But yeah, look at it.
The one at the back is also really nice.
Yeah.
Makes the
With
glass down.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's got all the pins.
And his back fin,
too.
his back fin is also beautiful.
Yeah, there's little blue dots in there. I don't think the camera's picking it up. Not really. But yeah, there's a little bit of the wild the red eye in them.
Yeah, that was my what I don't like to by angelfish. It's when they have two different colors of eyes. You know, so sometimes you have a black eye, a white eye, or a red eye.
Yeah.
On the same fish, they have two different. On each face, on each side, they have a different color eye. I don't like that much.
Yeah, I've
I
noticed
prefer
that
when
too.
it's two same eyes. Like the first one has beautiful eyes with the yellow head.
Yeah. I'm trying
This
to
one also is nice, the red eyes. But the thing is for me that they have to have the same colors eyes. But yeah, when you mix them, maybe that's the problem.
I'm gonna try to do
I think most of the people they don't look at the eye. They don't watch the eyes. They don't take care of it. Maybe they will see it at home.
oh, that's where it is. Oh. All right. I'm trying to play with my lighting to get it correct.
But do you know if Corey of Aquarium Coop he can not buy some angelfish of you?
I haven't asked him.
Because he has a shop also, so you can take. And I know he's got a Repashy also. And yeah, if you should do a research on eBay and or Amazon and see try to find a cheap oxidator D or A.
Yep.
But if you get the A, you can just add one stone in it. Huh? Normally D will be enough for you. D it's 100 liter. It's 25 gallons.
Yeah.
And normally A start from 100 gallons. 100 to 250. It's from 400 liters to 1,000 liters. But it's no problem if you over oxygen it's no problem. There will be no issue.
Yep. That's a good point. All right, you guys.
But
You about to go, Dan?
Yeah, I should probably jump off and
help your friend.
yeah, kind of annoying, but he's I guess he's chipping in gas, so
No problem.
one-way trip. All right,
Well, thank you to
All right,
to
Dan.
invite me in your stream.
yes, Jess, thank you for coming, and I just want to say thanks, Christoph. I really love it when you come into the chats and you share your love of the fish keeping hobby and how to have happy
I love
fish.
you too, bro. And, I love you too, and I mean Marcus Coppa. I mean we're really good friends. You, Cop, Easy,
It's 3:00.
and yeah, I wish you a Merry Christmas. I hope next year will be a good year for you also. So don't smoke too much.
Holy moly.
Ah,
Holy Jesus.
try to get him to start smoking. That'd be a good one.
No smoking. I don't say no smoking. I say not. I mean, a little. It's okay. It's better no, of course. But anyway,
I probably do enjoy smoking too much.
yeah, you have to be more selfish. No, I know. I know the kind of good heart you are. You know, and I'm sure when you get a little bit higher, your heart is bleeding of goodness. That's the danger when you're too good. You have to be a little more selfish.
Yeah, I'll tell you
But
what those
anyway, you're free to do what you like. Yeah, but
I'll tell you what those guys got my heart beating the other day. I was like, this probably ain't a good thing, you know. I gotta show you guys this other crazy fish. Oh, let's see. I gotta get my hangouts. Oh. All right, I got my screen up. I'm gonna do where'd he
the
go?
Guppy
real quick?
Reptile is amazing.
That right there. See that
With the black
huge
body.
the what?
With the black body, and I like the snake one.
Yeah.
With this orange black back tail at the back now.
There you go. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
And the red one is also amazing.
Yeah,
But
this is
the
like
snake orange one is beautiful.
so this that yellow big angelfish right there
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
mated with the double veil tail right there. And so that's going to be an amazing mix of fish because she's got that. Her tail is just huger than life. So that's why, I mean, she has a little trouble swimming because her tail's so big.
Yeah.
I got to clean my glass, but
No problem, man.
but yeah, I can't wait.
In the
to see-
guppy tank, I let the algae grow because they eat it also.
Yeah. I think that's a platinum right there that I have. Platinum angelfish. I guess that's the big rave. Because that thing is like white.
Yeah, the juveniles you have to wait a little bit. They don't have the adult colors, you know. So
Yeah.
a bit patience and you will see better.
All right, you guys. Well, I had better get out of here and get rolling. But I just want to say thank you again, Christoph, for joining the stream. Super, super awesome to see you here, Biggies.
All right, then, Dan.
Yeah,
All
it was
right.
nice to find you back, man. I missed
Yeah.
you also.
Yep. Might try to stream tonight just so we can pick on the cop if he's around.
Yeah.
For sure. He tried to stream yesterday night, but busy with
Wi-Fi.
his girlfriend Bunny. But the internet of him was really bad, and
Hotel.
Easy was there also.
Oh,
But it was a little bit crazy shot, you know.
yeah. Internet does get kind of crazy. All right. Well, if you all see the cop, you tell him hi for me and send him my love and tell him we'll hook up in a stream soon. So I think with that, everybody have a fantastic, fantastic Saturday. And yeah, hope to see you in my stream soon.
All right then.
Yeah, drive safe, bro.
You got it. Later.